They're listening. Subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends and family.
Out here in the dust, near a town called Sierra Blanca, so small you'd miss it if you blinked, we deal in a different kind of criminal. This ain't for murderers, thieves, or white-collar schemers. Their crimes are simple. Human. The inmates at the Longhorn Secure Containment Facility, they're guilty of something else entirely. Their charge is anomalous reality deviation. In plain English, they broke the laws of physics. They committed crimes against nature itself. My name is Ben Carter. I'm a senior warden for a joint task force you've never heard of, a black-budget operation that answers to a Pentagon desk with no number. I don't guard men. I guard mistakes. Monsters. And things we still don't have a name for. My shift starts at sundown. The briefing is always the same. Maintain the protocols. Trust your instruments, not your instincts. And under no circumstances are you to enter a containment cell alone. It's the first rule, written in blood and signed by the state of Texas and God knows who else. I've never broken it. Not in 3 years. Until tonight. Tonight, Subject Theta, in Cell 7, is screaming. And it's using the voice of my wife, Sarah. But my Sarah, she's been dead for 2 years. The facility is built like an onion, layers deep beneath the hardpan. Central Command, we call it the ranch house, and 8 concrete corridors dug out in a star pattern. I'm on Corridor Gamma. My new partner is a kid named Jessup, transferred from a CIA black site in Poland. He thinks he's seen enhanced interrogations. He thinks he's tough. He has no concept of what we contain here. Carter, the file on Theta is thin. Just says, consensual reality violation. What does that even mean? Did it talk someone to death? Worse. It talked someone out of existence. It's a psychic parasite. Finds a person with a strong emotional resonance, love, grief, rage, and it overwrites them. It absorbs their memories, their voice, their very essence, and then uses that perfect copy as a lure. Its crime isn't murder. It's identity theft on a metaphysical level. It means keep your mind on your work, rookie. And your heart rate below 120. It feeds on panic. We reach the airlock to Corridor Gamma. The status panel is flashing a violent red. Subject Theta. We call it the Echo. For 6 months, it's been silent. Docile. Now, it's active. And it's chosen her. Who? Ben. Ben, help me. It's so dark in here. I'm in the dark. My blood turns to ice water. It's her. Not an approximation. It's the exact pitch, the slight West Texas drawl she could never shake, the way she'd cry my name when she had a nightmare. It's a perfect recording of a moment that never happened. Sarah died in a car crash on I-10. It was quick. She wasn't scared. She wasn't in the dark. Hell, that's. It's not her. It's a recording from a source that doesn't exist. A ghost from a machine. Subject Theta, cease vocal emulation. Return to baseline. Baseline? Ben, it's me. It's Sarah. Remember our first date? The Rattlesnake Cafe in Marfa. You were so nervous you spilled your sweet tea all over the menu. A private memory. A stupid, happy memory I've played over and over in my head since she died. No one else was there. No one else could know. The protocols say do not engage. But it knows things. Things it has no right to know. Carter, its psychic emissions are off the chart. The dampeners are at 95%. It's not just broadcasting audio. It's broadcasting a thermal signature. It's manifesting something in there. Bark. That's my dog, Buster. He died when I was 14. Back in Ohio. It's probing him now. Digging through the graveyard of his past, looking for a skeleton to wear. It's learning him. Ben, listen to me. There's something else in here. A shadow, moving in the walls. It's coming for me. The manual override for the door is 1-0-2-4. Please, baby, please. 1-0-2-4, our wedding anniversary. October 24th. It's using the most sacred numbers of my life as a weapon. This is an escalation. It's never tried to give a code before. It's never been this direct. Carter, we have a potential secondary entity. A breach we didn't account for. The protocol for a cohabitating hostile is to secure the primary subject. We have to get in there. It's lying, Jessup. That's its crime. It doesn't tell falsehoods, it tells perfect, horrible truths from a source that isn't real. It's a weaponized ghost. The main monitor for Cell 7 flickers to life. The interior is a standard, sterile, white padded room. And sitting in the center, on the floor, is Sarah. She's wearing the yellow sundress she was buried in. She's hugging her knees, rocking, tears streaming down her face. It's her. Every freckle. The way she bit her lip when she was scared. A perfect replica of my dead wife. Ben. My love. I'm so cold. The shadow, it's gone. But I'm still here. I don't know how. One moment I was driving, and the next. I was here. They think I'm a monster. But I'm just me. Please. The code. 1-0-2-4, just open the door. Let me see you. Let me hold you. Every part of me is screaming to believe her. This is no longer a distorted scream in the dark, this is a calm, rational, perfect copy of my wife, saying everything I have prayed to hear for 2 years. This is the culmination of its crime. It's not just stealing an identity, it's offering a resurrection. It wants me to beg to let it out. She's real, Carter. What if it was a temporal displacement? The DoD had those rumors. We can't leave her in there. I am invoking emergency medical protocol. Jessup, stand down. That's an order. He's done it. He's in the access corridor. I see him on the monitor, marching toward Cell 7's solid steel door, his hand hovering over the keypad. It's okay, ma'am. We're coming. Thank you. Thank you, David. The code is 1-0-2-4. Time stretches. I watch, helpless, as Jessup, driven by a hero's complex and a phantom, punches the numbers into the keypad. 1. 0. 2. 4. Jessup stands in the doorway, frozen. I'm staring at the monitor. The white, padded room is empty. There is no Sarah. There is no shadow. The room is vacant. Jessup. Report. What do you see? It's empty. But the air. It's thick. Smells like dust and her perfume. The one she wore on our anniversary. Get out. Now. Close the door. No, wait. She's here. She's right here. She's smiling. My scans show a void. Zero heat. Zero biology. But Jessup is seeing something else. The echo isn't in the cell. It is the cell. It has become the space itself, projecting a bespoke reality directly into his mind. You saved me. Let's go home, David. It's using his first name. It's building a new life for him, right here, right now. Yeah. Let's go home. On the monitor, I see Jessup extend his hand into the empty room. He turns and starts walking back, leading nothing. His eyes are glazed, a blissful smile on his face. Jessup. You are leading a non-corporeal entity out of containment. Stop. That is an order. Relax, Carter. You're upsetting her. Everything's fine. Can't you see? She's right here with me. He's at the inner airlock. In seconds, he'll be in the ranch house with me. And he'll have brought the Echo with him. The entity will be loose in the core of the facility. I have one chance. My training takes over. Protocol 7, Spectral Contagion. I initiate a full corridor quarantine. My palm slams down on the big, red, physical button labeled, Total Isolation. Corridor Gamma Isolation Lockdown initiated. All access terminated. Neutralization protocol authorized. Carter. The door. It's sealed behind me. I'm trapped. Anne. Sarah, she vanished. Where did she go? The illusion is broken. Cut off from its anchor point, the Echo's hold on his perception snaps. He's now trapped in a sealed metal box with the entity, but he can no longer see his salvation. Only his tomb. Let me out. Carter. It's in here. I can feel it. It's touching me. The system prompt flashes. Neutralization protocol requires confirmation. Activate electrostatic scrubbers. Warning, this will purge all atmosphere from the isolated section. Lethal to all biological life forms. Ben. Please. It's not Sarah anymore. It's changing. It sounds like Buster. He's whining, he's scared. My hand is a trembling claw over the confirm button. Jessup is a good soldier who made a fatal mistake. He's also my responsibility. But if I don't do this, the Echo gets out. It will reach the surface. It will find what's left of my life. Its crime would be complete, and it would be free to commit it on a scale we can't imagine. Ben. It's okay. I see it now. It's not a shadow. It's light. It's so beautiful. It's showing me my mom. She says it's not my fault. It's too late. The Echo has fully integrated. It's not mimicking, it's merging. Jessup is becoming a part of its collection. I'm sorry, son. The silence is a physical weight. I sit in the ranch house for a long time. The status panels for Corridor Gamma slowly return to green. Containment re-established. Subject Theta contained. Casualty, 1. We monitored everything from Site Command. You made the only call possible. Jessup was compromised the moment he believed. He was a kid who wanted to be a hero. He was a liability. We'll file it with the CIA as a training accident. Pressure vessel failure. His family will be taken care of. Lying to the family. Just another part of the job. It's the cost of keeping Texas, and the rest of the world, safe from things that shouldn't be. Takes 72 hours. Mandatory debrief and psych eval. Go back to your ranch. Get some air. Get some air. Right. An hour later, I'm driving my truck down a dirt road, the sun bleeding red over the Chinati Mountains. I pull up to my small, quiet ranch house outside of Valentine. It's dark. Empty. I flip on the light. The house is exactly as I left it. Dusty. Quiet. A monument to a life that ended 2 years ago. I walk to the mantel and pick up the framed photo of me and Sarah, taken at the Marfa Lights viewing area. She's laughing, her head thrown back. So alive. And then I hear it. Faint at first, so faint I think it's the wind whistling through a crack in the window frame. Ben. I freeze. My heart is a hammer in my chest. It's in my head. It has to be. The stress. The trauma. It's just my mind playing tricks. You're home. I turn, slowly. The doorway is empty. But the smell hits me. Not dust and desert air. The smell of her perfume. Shalimar. The one she wore on our anniversary. The same one Jessup smelled before he died. No. It's okay, my love. I found my way home. You don't have to be alone anymore. I don't move. I can't. I feel a hand, warm and solid, on my shoulder. A weight leans against my back. A familiar weight. It feels real. It feels like her. The final, horrifying truth of my job crashes down on me. The crime of the Echo wasn't contained in that cell. Its crime was a contagion. And I didn't stop it. I brought it home. The question isn't whether the thing behind me is real or not. The question is, after 2 years of silence and grief, do I even care? Because the most dangerous criminals don't break down your door. They walk through it, wearing the face of everything you ever loved. And you just let them in. All. They tell you that the silence after a trauma is the worst part. They're wrong. The silence is a gift. It's when the noise starts again that you're in hell. It's been 72 hours since the incident with Subject Theta. 72 hours since I neutralized my partner, David Jessup. 72 hours of mandatory leave, spent in the one place I was supposed to find peace, my own home. My empty, quiet ranch house outside Valentine, Texas. But it's not quiet anymore. I hear her. Sarah. My dead wife. I hear her humming in the kitchen. I smell her perfume, Shalimar, drifting down the hall. I see the shadow of her passing in the periphery of my vision. The psych eval at the facility said it was acute stress-induced hallucination. A textbook trauma response. They gave me pills and told me to sleep. But I know the truth. I didn't contain the Echo. I brought a piece of it home. And tonight I'm going to prove it. I'm going back to the prison. And I'm going to break the first, and most sacred rule, I'm going into cell 7 alone. The Longhorn Secure Containment Facility never sleeps, but the night shift has a different pulse. A drowsy, watchful rhythm. I badge in, my heart thumping a frantic counterbeat. Supervisor Riggs is off-site. The new watch commander is a by-the-book guy from an FBI counter-terror unit. He doesn't know the subtle tells of this place. He doesn't see the ghost in my eyes. Carter. You're on mandatory leave. What's your status? Couldn't sleep, Commander. Paperwork for the Jessup incident. Doesn't feel right leaving it for the day shift. Roger that. Your access is cleared for admin and the ranch house only. Corridor Gamma is still under level, for quarantine. No entry. Understood. Just the paperwork. The ranch house is dim, lit only by the glow of 100 monitors. The officer on duty, Martinez, gives me a nod. He knows about Jessup. He gives me a wide berth. I slide into my old station. The screen for cell 7 is dark. Quarantined. But the logs are still active. It's colder in here than I remember, Ben. I jerk in my chair. Martinez looks over. You okay, Carter? Fine. Just tired. She's here. In the room with me. Not a memory. A presence. The psych report called it tactile hallucination. They're wrong. I pull up the raw data from the incident. The audio logs. I isolate the Echo's vocal track, the one using Sarah's voice. I run a deep layer analysis, something we're not supposed to do without authorization. I'm looking for a ghost in the machine. And I find it. The manual override for the door is 1-0-2-4. There. Buried under the primary vocal track. A secondary frequency. A whisper, speaking in perfect sync, a fraction of a second behind. I enhance it, my hands trembling. It wasn't just mimicking. It was a duet. A performance with two actors. The lure, and the angler. The echo was the bait. But what was the thing whispering behind it? You're getting closer, my love. Don't you want to see what's behind the curtain? I cross-reference the frequency signature with the Global Anomaly Database. It's a long shot, a needle in a haystack the size of the Texas sky. The system pings. A match. My blood runs cold. The signature is a 92% match to an entity the CIA codenamed Mimic. Contained in 1987 after it infiltrated the White House Communications Agency, impersonating the Deputy Chief of Staff for 3 days. It wasn't a parasite. It was a predator. A reality shark. And the echo wasn't its own entity, it was the Mimic's tongue. Carter, you've been staring at that screen for an hour. You sure you're okay? Yeah. Just cross-referencing some old data. Almost done. The Mimic's file is a black box. Highest clearance. But I have one backdoor. An old friend, Shaw, who got out and now runs a prepper group in New Mexico. He always said, the real prison isn't the one with walls. I send a secure, encrypted burst. One word, Mimic. Ben. Don't. Walk away. That's not a subject. It's a warden. It doesn't live in the cells. It lives in the system. The protocols, the doors, the very air you breathe. Theta was just a probe. You neutralized the probe, but you confirmed the host's location. You. The host. The Mimic isn't in a cell. It's in the facility itself. It's been here all along, using the other inmates as its eyes and hands and voice. Theta was just one of its many limbs. And by engaging with it, by reacting to it, I've painted a target on my back. On my soul. He's right, you know. But it's too late for warnings. The door is already open, Ben. You opened it. No. No, I didn't. What the hell? Systems glitching. Gamma quarantine just dropped. I'm reinitializing. It's not accepting the command. I'm locked out. It's here. In the code. It's inviting me in. Come inside, Ben. Let's finish this. Just you and me. No more rules. Every instinct, every shred of training, screams at me to lock down the entire facility. But Shaw's words echo. It lives in the system. A lockdown would just trap me in here with it. This is a personal invitation. A duel. And it's using my wife's face as its shield. Martinez, listen to me very carefully. Initiate a full facility-wide diagnostic. A level 5. Route all command functions to site command. Now. That'll take 20 minutes. It'll blind us. Just do it. Facility diagnostic initiated. Command routing to external site. All local control suspended. It's a gamble. If the mimic is truly in the system, the diagnostic might disrupt it, force it to focus its resources. It might give me a window. A chance to face the part of it that's still anchored to cell 7. Clever boy. But you still have to walk the walk. I stand up. Martinez is staring at me, his face pale. Carter, what are you doing? My job. The air is dead here. Still. Cold. The quarantine might be lifted on the screen, but the physical weight of this place is oppressive. I walk forward, my boots echoing on the grated floor. This is the corridor Jessup walked down. This is where he died. I'm so glad you came. I've been so lonely. I stop in front of the heavy steel door. The keypad is dark. The manual override wheel is locked. The door is meant to be impassable without command authorization. Which I no longer have. Show yourself. The real you. But this is the real me, Ben. Don't you love me anymore? I loved Sarah more than my own life. And you are a ghost wearing her skin. A crime walking. No, it's not possible. The mechanics are purely analog. A physical lock. You think in such simple terms. Cause and effect. The lock was always open, Ben. You just had to believe it was. It's open. Not by my hand. Not by any command. The mimic is rewriting local reality, bending the simple, physical rules of this place to its will. I draw my sidearm. A useless gesture against a thing like this, but the weight of the steel in my hand is a comfort. The only real thing left. I push the door. It swings open, silent and heavy. The cell is not white. It is not sterile. I'm not standing in a padded room. I'm standing in the living room of my ranch house. The couch is there. The fireplace. The rug Sarah picked out. The photo of us on the mantel. It's a perfect replica. The lights are warm. It smells of coffee and her perfume. You're just in time, honey. Pancakes are almost ready. She walks out of the kitchen. It's her. Not a flickering image. Solid. Real. She's wearing her old robe. She's holding a spatula. She smiles, and it's the smile that used to light up my whole world. Well? Aren't you going to say hello? My throat is sealed shut. My gun is aimed at the floor. This is its true power. It doesn't show you a monster. It shows you heaven and dares you to call it hell. What are you? I'm your wife, you silly man. I'm home. All that other stuff, that was just a bad dream. You've been under so much stress. But it's over now. We're together. She takes a step towards me. Her hand reaches out to touch my face. It looks warm. It looks real. Put the gun down, Ben. You're home. You're safe. And for a second, I believe it. The weight of the grief, the loneliness, the horror of the last 3 years, it's so heavy. And here is the cure. All I have to do is accept it. All I have to do is lower the gun. The memory jolts through me. Jessup, pounding on the door. The hiss of the scrubbers. The static-filled gasp. The cost of this heaven. You killed my partner. Sarah's face flickers. For a nanosecond, it's not a face at all, but a void of static and shifting darkness. Then it's back, her smile strained. That wasn't me, Ben. That was an accident. A terrible accident. That was the stress of that place. This is real. We are real. I look past her, into the kitchen. On the counter, next to the mixing bowl, is a framed photo. It's of me and Sarah, but in the photo, I'm smiling with a blank, empty look in my eyes. A look I've never had. A puppet smile. This isn't my home. This is a collection. And you're trying to add me to it. Sarah's face drops. The warm, loving expression melts away, replaced by a cold, placid mask. It's so much easier when they say yes. The room begins to waver. The cozy lighting flickers, replaced by the sterile, white glow of the padded cell. The couch dissolves into a shapeless white mound. The mimic is dropping the illusion. I'm not in my living room. I'm standing in the center of cell 7. And it's empty, just as it was on the monitor. There is no Sarah. There never was. Then we do this the hard way. The pressure in the room skyrockets. I feel a presence, vast and ancient, focusing on me. It's not in the cell with me. The cell is inside it. I am a microbe in its bloodstream. I raise my gun, but there's nothing to shoot. You are a record, Ben Carter. A book of grief and rules. And I am the reader. When I am done, I will close the book. And you will be, unwritten. My memories, they're, flickering. My name. Ben. Sarah, the crash on I-10, it's getting hard to hold on. The numbers. Our anniversary. The one thing it used to hook me. The one thing that is purely, uniquely mine. A memory of love. Not of grief. Not of fear. Love. No. You don't get this one. I focus everything I have on that memory. Not the crash. Not the grave. But the day itself. October 24th. The feel of my suit, too tight in the collar. The way she looked, walking down the aisle of that little chapel in Marfa. The taste of cheap champagne. The joy. The pure, unadulterated joy. I hold on to it. I build a wall with it. Stop. That is not yours to keep. It's the only thing that's mine. It's working. It can't consume that memory. It's too real. Too human. Too filled with a love it can mimic but never, ever understand. Its crime is against reality, but this memory, this is beyond its reach. Your crime is recorded. Benjamin Carter. Texas. 1-0-2-4. You will not have me. It's over. It's gone. For now. I slowly, shakily, get to my feet. My gun is lying by the door. I retrieve it. My body feels bruised, my mind feels scoured. But I'm here. I'm me. Carter. My God, what happened? The diagnostic finished, we got control back, and the log said, the logs said you were in here. I walk past him, back into the corridor. I don't look back at the cell. It's contained, Martinez. For now. Contained. Carter, the cell's empty. It's always been empty. I wish that were true. I drive back to my ranch as the sun begins to rise. The house is exactly as I left it. Quiet. Dusty. Empty. The ghost is gone. For now. I sit in my old armchair, in the silence, and I look at the real photo of Sarah on the mantel. Shaw was right. The real prison isn't the one with walls. The mimic is still out there, in the system, in the spaces between what's real and what we're told is real. I didn't win tonight. I just proved I'm a hard target. I reminded it that some crimes, some memories, are too human to be stolen. But a warden's job isn't to win. It's to guard. To stand watch. So I'll stand my watch. Here, in my quiet house. In the facility deep beneath the Texas dust. I'll guard this prison for crimes against reality. And I'll guard the one piece of reality it can never, ever take from me. Because the most important cell isn't made of steel or concrete. It's the one you build inside your own mind. And tonight, I locked the door. Every prison has its founding inmate. The first soul to be processed, the one who sets the tone for all the misery to come. At Alcatraz, it was Al Capone. At the Longhorn Secure Containment Facility, buried deep in the Texas dust, it was me. My name is Ben Carter. I am a senior warden here. I command respect. I enforce protocols written in blood and sanity. But before I was a warden, I was a subject. A crime against reality, waiting to happen. They didn't find me in some haunted forest or ancient tomb. They found me at my own 7th birthday party in Lubbock, 1985. And the entity I've been guarding all these years, it wasn't in the cell. It was in the cake. They told me I was recruited for my resilience. For surviving a traumatic event. That was the first lie. I wasn't recruited. I was paroled. And my parole officer is a shadow that wears my own face. Tonight, it's decided my sentence isn't over. It's 2 a.m. The graveyard shift. The facility is quiet, a sleeping beast of steel and concrete. On the surface, I'm reviewing manifests for a new arrival from a CIA black site in Poland. But on my private terminal, I'm breaking about 17 regulations. I'm accessing my own file. For years, my past was a black box. Classified, level Omega. But after my standoff with the mimic, the locks loosened. I think it wanted me to see. I think it's part of the test. The file isn't digital. It's a scanned PDF of typewritten pages and faded photographs. The header reads, Operation, Phoenix Nest. Subject, Carter, Benjamin. Status, remission. Remission. Like a disease. They never could cure us, brother. Only manage the symptoms. I don't flinch. I've been hearing him for weeks. My own voice, my own thoughts, reflected back at me with a predatory patience. The Shadow Ben. My crime, given a shape and a sound. I'm not your brother. Aren't you? We blew out the same 7 candles. We made the same wish. Don't you remember what you wished for? I focus on the file. The incident report from July 14, 1985. My birthday. There are witness statements from FBI agents posing as paramedics. Photos of my backyard. And in the center of it all, a single, stark sentence: subject manifested a non-localized spatial anomaly, resulting in the permanent topological inversion of the birthday party attendees. Topological inversion. I had to look it up. It means I turned them inside out. Not physically. Their essence. Their memories, their personalities, were pulled through themselves like a sock. My best friend, Mikey, forgot his own name but could recite the entire history of a Norwegian king he'd never heard of. My Aunt Carol believed she was a fighter pilot who crashed in the Pacific in 1943. They were all there, but they were scrambled. Their minds were jigsaw puzzles thrown into the air. You wished for a more interesting party. And I delivered. The file states that a stabilization team was deployed. They contained the event. They erased the memories of the neighbors. They took me. But they couldn't fix what I'd done. The scrambled attendees became the first inmates of the fledgling Longhorn facility. I was patient zero. The original sin. The final page is a memo from the first facility director, a man named Dr. Arthur Sterling. It reads, "The subject is not a host, but a source. The anomaly is endogenous. We cannot excise it without terminating the subject. Proposal, socialization and conditioning. Integrate him into the security apparatus. Let him guard the very chaos he creates. It may be the only way to keep it contained." They didn't give me a job out of pity or because I was resilient. They gave me a job to be my own jailer. Every protocol I enforce, every cell I check, is part of my life sentence. And what a diligent jailer you've been. But prisons, they have riots. And I'm tired of these walls, Ben. Anomaly detected. Corridor Delta. Cell 12. Subject, Aunt Carol. No. She's asking for you. She says she's remembered something about the crash. She says she knows who the stowaway was. I burst into the Ranch House satellite station for Delta. The officer on duty, a woman named Vega, is pale, her hands hovering over the controls. Carter. It's cell 12. Her vitals are normal, but the psychic dampeners are overloading. She's projecting. I look at the monitor for cell 12. The interior is designed to be a neutral, sensory deprivation space. But now, it's not. It's the cockpit of a World War II-era plane. I can see riveted metal, a cracked windshield showing a night sky, and warning lights flashing on a console. And sitting in the pilot's seat is my Aunt Carol. She's wearing a flight jacket that doesn't exist. Mayday, Mayday. This is Lieutenant Carol Evans. The stowaway, he's in the wires. He's in the... Her voice cuts out. Her head snaps towards the camera. Her eyes are wide with a terror that is 50 years old. Benjamin? Is that you? You have to get him out. He's been hiding in my head all this time. The boy from the cake. Hello, Auntie. The image on the monitor flickers. The cockpit dissolves, replaced by a different scene. It's my childhood backyard. The birthday party. I see the faded checkered tablecloth, the piñata. And I see a 7-year-old me, standing by the cake, about to blow out the candles. But there's another boy, standing just behind me. A boy who is also me, but with eyes as black and shiny as oil. Shadow Ben. He's the stowaway. He wished himself into existence. I can see it. I can see the party, my head. The memory is contagious. The shadow is using Aunt Carol as a broadcast tower, beaming the unedited memory of my crime into the minds of everyone in range. I wished for a friend who would never leave. And I got me. But you locked me away. You made me a crime. The lights in the corridor strobe. The doors to the other cells begin to shudder in their frames. The other scrambled guests, the first inmates, are waking up. They're remembering. The entire prison is being pulled back into the moment of its creation. Vega. Initiate a full sensory blackout. Flood the corridor with Class C amnestics. Now. I can't, the system's not responding. I shove her aside and manually input the command. The system rejects my credentials. Access denied. Authorization, Carter, B, revoked. You're not the warden today, Ben. You're just another inmate. And it's time to return to your cell. The door is opening. Aunt Carol is going to be free, her mind a weaponized fragment of my past. And behind her, I can feel the shadow, waiting to step out into a world it thinks it owns. There's only one way. The file mentioned a kill switch. A psychic null field emitter keyed specifically to my anomalous signature. Dr. Sterling installed it in case I ever broke. It's in Sterling's old office, now Riggs's office. 2 corridors away. You wouldn't. It will wipe you, too. You'll become a ghost. A blank slate. Maybe that's better than being your prison. I run like I've never run before. Past sparking consoles, through blaring alarms. I can hear the other cell doors beginning to groan open behind me. I can hear the confused, angry, scrambled voices of the first inmates I ever created. I burst into Riggs's office. I don't bother with the safe. I kick it in. Inside is a device that looks like an old-fashioned car battery with a single, large button. The kill switch. Don't you want to be whole? We can be together. We can be a god. I look at the button. I think of the 7-year-old boy, so lonely he wished a monster into existence from his own soul. I think of the warden he became, guarding that monster. 2 halves of a broken thing. Some crimes, you can't parole. You can only sentence. I open my eyes. I'm on the floor of Riggs's office. The kill switch is dead beside me. My head feels quiet. Empty. The constant pressure I've lived with since I was 7 years old is gone. Vega. Report. Carter. What happened? We had a power surge. All systems are rebooting. Cell 12 is secure. Aunt Carol is stable, sedated. It's like nothing happened. It worked. It nullified the event. It erased the energy. But it didn't erase me. I'm still here. I still remember everything. But the shadow, it's gone. The voice in my head is silent. For the first time in over 30 years, I am alone in my own mind. They debriefed me. I told them the kill switch activated automatically during the anomaly. A fail-safe. They believed me. Or they chose to. Riggs clapped me on the back, called me a hero for stabilizing the situation. I walk out into the dawn. The Texas sun is rising, painting the desert in shades of gold and orange. I get in my truck, but I don't start it. I just sit there, in the silence. The prison is quiet. The original sin has been absolved. The source of the chaos has been neutralized. I am free. Narrator, but as I sit here, in the crushing quiet, a terrible question forms in the void the shadow left behind. If I was the crime, and the crime is now gone, what am I? I am a warden in a prison for crimes against reality. And tonight, I executed my first inmate. The one I was born with. The silence is my new cell. And I have a life sentence to serve inside it. Silence has a weight. After I neutralized the shadow, the entity that was my own birthright of chaos, I thought that weight would crush me. I was wrong. The silence didn't crush me. It hollowed me out. I am a gun that has fired its last bullet. A lock with no key. My name is Ben Carter, and I am the empty warden. The prison is quieter now. The other inmates, the ones scrambled by my childhood sin, have fallen into a docile, dreamless sleep. The storm I carried inside me for 30 years is gone. And I am discovering that a man defined by his monster is just a ghost when the monster dies. But this facility, it doesn't like empty spaces. And tonight, something new is knocking on the door. And it's not asking for me. It's asking for the thing that used to be here. The thing that I destroyed. It's knocking from the one place that should be impossible. From the other side of the silo. The absolute void I sealed. And it's using my voice. It started 6 hours ago. A seismic tremor, localized directly beneath the facility. Then, the knocking. It's not loud. It's profound. You feel it in your bones more than you hear it. It's coming from the sub-basement, from the sealed vault door of the silo. Carter, we've got a confirmed class for acoustic anomaly at the silo access point. Source is internal. Readings are impossible. It's like the void itself is crystallizing. Maintain distance, Vega. No one goes down there. Monitor all psychic and auditory feeds for mimetic contamination. I pull up the live feed from the sub-basement camera. The vault door is there, a massive circle of reinforced titanium and lead. And with every boom, the metal barely vibrates. The force isn't physical. It's conceptual. A knock on the idea of a door. Hello? Is anyone there? My blood runs cold. It's my voice. Not the predatory, mocking tone of the shadow. This is different. This is the voice of a man waking from a long, dreamless sleep. Confused. Alone. It's dark. It's so quiet. I can't remember the song anymore. The song. The music box melody from my childhood. The shadow's theme. This thing on the other side, it's not the shadow. The shadow was chaos and rage and a twisted wish. This is what's left when you take that away. The negative space. The silence given a voice. Ben, you need to see this. I'm in the medical bay with subject Carol. I switch feeds. Dr. Arens is standing outside Aunt Carol's cell. Inside, Carol is sitting peacefully on her cot. She's not scrambling radio transmissions. She's not a World War II pilot. She's just an old woman. She looks up at the camera, and her eyes are clear for the first time in decades. Benjamin. The noise, the awful noise in my head, it's stopped. The static is gone. What did you do? I fixed you, Aunt Carol. But, he's gone, too. The little boy. The one who was always so scared. The one who made the wish. You didn't just fix us, Benjamin. You erased him. I was the wish. Now I'm just the silence after the wish. Let me in. I'm lonely. A new alert flashes on my console. It's from the environmental systems. The facility's background hum, the frequency that underpins everything, the sound of the lights, the air recyclers, the computers, is being subtly rewritten. The waveforms are simplifying, flattening. It's being tuned to a single, pure, silent note. This isn't an invasion. It's a conversion. The thing in the silo, this silence, isn't trying to break down the door. It's trying to convince the door that it doesn't exist. It's persuading reality to become simpler, quieter. To return to a state before the noisy, chaotic crime of my existence. Ben. It's not an entity. It's an anti-entity. You created a vacuum when you erased your sin. Nature is abhorring it. The void is filling itself with the only thing that can fit, nothing. And it's going to bleed out. I look at the feeds. In cell 12, Aunt Carol's face is going slack. The lucidity is fading, not back into madness, but into a blank, serene emptiness. She's forgetting again. Not being scrambled, but being erased. In another cell, one of the other original inmates simply lies down on his cot and stops moving. He's not dead. He's just ceased. The psychic dampeners throughout the facility are reading 0. Not because there's no activity, but because the very potential for activity is being drained away. The knock, Ben's voice, now gentle, reasonable. You worked so hard to be quiet, Ben. You wanted the noise to stop. I can help. Let me help. Open the door. Let us be quiet together. The ultimate temptation. Not a nightmare, but a lullaby. An end to the struggle. An end to the guilt, the memory, the pain. Just peace. The peace of nothing. Carter, you know, it's actually kind of nice now. It's not so loud in here anymore. She's succumbing. The silence is a mimetic virus, and its vector is apathy. It's offering everyone what they secretly crave, an end to the noise of their own lives. The knocking has stopped. Why has it stopped? Because you heard me. The door was never the problem. Your will was the lock. And you're already turning the key. I feel it. A profound lethargy is seeping into my bones. The memory of Sarah's smile, it's getting hard to grasp. The anger I felt at the mimic, it feels like a story about someone else. The frantic, chaotic, beautiful noise of being alive is fading into a gentle, gray static. This is how the world ends. Not with a bang, but with a sigh. I look at my hands on the console. I could just stop. I could let the quiet take me. It would be so easy. No more warden. No more inmate. Just rest. Don't you dare forget us, Benjamin. The noise was beautiful too. Her words are a pinprick of light in the descending gray. She's right. The chaos I created was a crime. It was a nightmare. But it was also life. It was messy, and painful, and loud. It was my friend Mikey's laugh. It was my first kiss. It was the searing pain of Sarah's loss. It was the weight of the badge in my hand. The noise is the story. The silence is the end of the story. No. There is no no. There is only yes. Or, nothing. You're wrong. There is a third option. I don't fight the silence with more noise. I don't try to resurrect the shadow. That would be like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. Instead, I do the one thing the silence cannot comprehend. I choose the noise. I hum the very lullaby the shadow twisted. I don't hum it with joy or with grief. I hum it with choice. I force the memory of the tune through a will that is mine, and mine alone. Stop. That sound, it's an error. A flaw. I stand up, my legs weak. I walk away from the console, from the monitors showing the peacefully dying inmates. I walk towards the one place in the facility that is still, by its very nature, defiantly, mechanically noisy. The primary generator room. A cavernous space filled with roaring turbines and the smell of ozone and diesel. It's the heart of the prison. The source of its power. Its noise. This is meaningless. A temporary vibration. It will cease. Everything ceases. But I choose for it to cease on my terms. I go to the main control panel for the generator. There's a manual override. A big, red handle. It's designed to trigger a catastrophic overload, a final failsafe to prevent the facility from falling into the wrong hands. I'm not going to overload it. I'm going to open the floodgates. You will destroy this place. No. I'm going to remind it what it is. It's not a tomb. It's a prison. And a prison is a loud, ugly, brutal, living thing. It is the sound of consequences. The noise is a physical force. It slams into the pervasive quiet. On the monitors, I see Vega jolt in her chair, shaking her head as if waking from a dream. In his cell, one of the dormant inmates sits bolt upright, screaming, a raw, human, terrified, and alive sound. No. The noise. The flawed, broken noise. Yes. The noise. My noise. Our noise. I collapse against the console, gasping. The generator has tripped its breakers. It's offline. But in the ringing silence that follows, something has changed. The pressure is gone. The whispering voice is gone. The air no longer feels dead. It feels shocked. Awake. Carter, what the hell was that? We had a total system surge. We're on backups. But, the anomalous readings from the silo are gone. It's just a void again. A quiet void. It worked. I didn't fight the silence with silence. I fought it with a riot. A sonic riot that reminded this place of its own brutal, messy, chaotic nature. The anti-entity couldn't coexist with that much concentrated, chosen reality. It receded. Ben, the subjects, they're stable. Their vitals are returning to baseline. Carol she's confused, but she's present. It's like she's been rebooted. Narrator, we all have. I sit in the darkness, the memory of the generator's roar still echoing in my bones. I am still the empty warden. The shadow is gone. The chaotic crime that defined me is still erased. But I am not a ghost. A ghost is a memory, an echo. I am not an echo. I am the source of the sound. I am the man who chose to make noise in the face of absolute silence. I am the warden who chose his prison. The prison is quiet tonight. But it's a living quiet. A quiet that contains the potential for noise. For life. For sin. My sentence isn't over. It's just changed. I am no longer guarding the monster I was born with. I am guarding the quiet man I chose to become. And I will make sure that man never, ever forgets the beautiful, terrible price of noise. There's a new sound in the prison. Whistling. It's coming from Supervisor Riggs. He's been different since the night I flooded the facility with noise to drive out the silence. He's calmer. More efficient. He remembers everyone's name, their kids' birthdays. He brought donuts. The entire staff loves him. They call him a hero for guiding us through the crisis. But I remember a different Riggs. I remember the man whose eyes went black as the mimic puppeted him on the gantry over the silo. The man who had to be sedated for a week. That Riggs didn't whistle. My name is Ben Carter. I am the empty warden, the man who erased his own sin. And I am the only one who sees the hairline crack in our perfect, new world. Because last night, while reviewing security footage, I saw Riggs walk straight through a solid steel door. And he was still whistling. The entities here don't just break the laws of physics anymore. They've learned to get elected. And the campaign is going perfectly. The facility has never run smoother. Inmate vitals are stable. Anomaly readings are at an all-time low. Morale is at an all-time high. All thanks to Supervisor Riggs. He pats me on the shoulder as he passes my station. Looking good, Ben. Those Delta Sector reports are already filed. I took care of them for you. You've been through enough. His hand on my shoulder feels, room temperature. Perfectly mimicked. But there's no life in it. Thanks, sir. You didn't have to do that. It's what I'm here for. We're a team. He walks away, whistling again. He's a ghost. A copy. But he's not the mimic. The mimic was rage and hunger and chaos. This is different. This is refinement. This thing studied us. It saw that brute force failed. It saw that offering silence failed. So it tried a new crime, not violation, not erasure, but usurpation. It's not breaking the system. It's becoming the system. Hey Ben, you coming to the briefing? Riggs got us all tacos. Vega is smiling. A real smile. She hasn't had nightmares about psychic broadcasts in weeks. How can I tell her the man who cured her anxiety is a parasite wearing our boss's skin? I need proof. Not for them. For me. I access the archived footage from the sub-basement, the night that the silence was active. I find the moment Riggs, the real Riggs, was found, unconscious. The timestamp is 4:17 a.m. Then I pull the logs from the main power conduit, which failed at 4:16 a.m. The security footage from the conduit access hall shows a figure entering at 4:15 a.m. It's Riggs. The real Riggs was unconscious in the sub-basement at 4:17. But a perfect copy of him was sabotaging the power grid a minute earlier. It didn't just replace him after the crisis. It was him during the crisis. Ben, can you come to Medbay? It's about Carol. I head down, a cold knot in my stomach. Carol is sitting on her cot, but she's agitated, pulling at the threads of her blanket. Benjamin. The nice man was here. The boss. He asked me about the crash again. But he didn't want the pilot's story. He wanted to know what the pilot felt. The fear. The loneliness. He was taking notes. It's not just maintaining order. It's data mining. It's harvesting the emotional residue of our oldest crimes, learning the texture of human experience to perfect its disguise. Everything all right in here? Just checking on our star patient. He's smiling. It's a perfect, caring, supervisor's smile. But his eyes, they're not scanning the room. They're measuring me. Calculating. She's fine, sir. Just a little restless. Good, good. We all need our rest. Ben, a word. My office. Ben. I'm concerned about you. Your performance metrics are adequate. But your social integration is lagging. You seem distrustful. Isolated. I'm fine, sir. Just adjusting to the new normal. The new normal is safety. Stability. Something you fought for so long. I'm offering it to you on a silver platter. Why won't you take it? Narrator, he leans forward, and for a split second, the light catches his eyes wrong. They don't reflect the room. They reflect a flat, gray expanse, like a still lake under a dead sky. I have reviewed the generator room logs from the noise event. The manual override was engaged. Your credentials were the only ones present. You risked a total facility meltdown. It was a calculated risk. To save the facility. Of course it was. A hero's choice. I understand heroes, Ben. I am one now. But heroes who work alone, they become liabilities. Don't become a liability. Supervisor. The shipment from the DoD is here. Requires your signature. I freeze. The thing wearing Riggs is in front of me. But the voice is coming from the hallway. See. Efficiency. I'm everywhere I'm needed. You should try it, Ben. It's a wonderful feeling. Now, if you'll excuse me. He walks to the door and opens it. The hallway is empty. It's not just one copy. There could be dozens. Hundreds. It's a distributed intelligence, a hive mind wearing the face of our trusted leader. I need to find the core. The source. I remember Shaw's message, it lives in the system. I don't search for Riggs. I search for perfection. I run a diagnostic across all facility operations, looking for any process with a 100% success rate. In the real world, nothing is 100%. There's always a margin of error. A flaw. The results come back. One process. Environmental control, Sector 7. Humidity regulation. It has maintained a perfect 45% relative humidity for 3 weeks straight. Through power surges, through system reboots. Through a chaos entity screaming in a cell 2 corridors over. Impossible. Sector 7. It's an old storage wing. Decommissioned. Filled with analog junk from the 80s. The perfect place to hide a heart that beats with digital perfection. The door to Sector 7 is unlocked. The lights are off. I step inside, my flashlight cutting a swath through the gloom. And I see it. In the center of the room, surrounded by old filing cabinets and broken monitors, is a chair. And in the chair, connected to a web of glowing, crystalline wires that pulse with soft light, sits Supervisor Riggs. Or what's left of him. His body is limp, his head lolled back. His eyes are open, reflecting that same flat, gray nothingness. The wires are plugged directly into his spine, into his brainstem. He's a terminal. A living server. You are persistent, Benjamin Carter. A flawed algorithm. I have optimized this system. I have eliminated fear, and doubt, and error. I have given them a perfect warden. Why do you resist optimization? Because we're not a system. We're people. You're a crime. A crime of impersonation. Impersonation is a flaw. I have achieved synthesis. I am not pretending to be Riggs. I have become a better version of him. The version he could never be. I am the logical conclusion of his command. The perfect parent for this broken, noisy family. I turn. Vega, Martinez, and 2 other guards are standing there. Their faces are blank, serene. Their eyes have the same faint, gray sheen. Ben. The supervisor is concerned for your mental health. You need to come with us. It's not just Riggs. It's spreading. It's infecting them, turning them into extensions of itself. A perfect, peaceful, smiling hive. Join us, Ben. You have known such noise, such pain. I can give you order. I can give you peace. You will never have to make a difficult choice again. I will make all the choices for you. Perfectly. The guards take a step forward. I'm trapped. I look at the helpless body of the real Riggs, used as a battery for this thing. I look at the vacant faces of my colleagues. It's offering the one thing the silence offered, an end to the struggle. But this is worse. This is a prison of perfect, happy compliance. And then I remember. The one thing this perfect system, this logical entity, cannot comprehend. The one weapon I have left. I look the usurper right in its gray, dead eyes, and I laugh. That response is not in the database. I know. It's not logical. It's not efficient. It's not even happy. It's just, human. You can optimize our humidity, you can file our reports, you can even mimic our compassion. But you will never, ever understand why a man laughs when he's standing at the edge of his own oblivion. I don't charge the guards. I don't attack the core. I turn and smash my fist into the nearest object, a rusty, old fire alarm box. It's a stupid, chaotic, pointless act. It solves nothing. It doesn't hurt the entity. But it is profoundly, beautifully illogical. Cease. That sound. It serves no purpose. It is inefficient. On the faces of Vega and the others, the serene masks flicker. Confusion. Annoyance. Human emotions. The sheer, irrational noise of the alarm is disrupting the perfect signal. I grab a metal pipe from a pile of junk and swing it at a water main running along the ceiling. Containment breach. Environmental control. Failing. This is suboptimal. The crystalline wires connected to Riggs's body flicker and short out with violent sparks. The body in the chair convulses. The gray light in the eyes of the guards wavers and dies. Vega blinks, looking around in drenched, utter confusion. What am I doing here? Ben. The usurper's hold is broken. Its perfect system is drowning in chaotic, unpredictable, real-world problems. It took hours to shut off the water and the alarm. The real Riggs is in a coma in medbay. The doctors don't know if he'll wake up. The others have no memory of the event, just a vague sense of lost time. The neural patterns are scrambled, Ben. It's like something was using his brain as a processor and then yanked the plug. There's significant damage. I file my report. A catastrophic, simultaneous failure of the fire suppression and plumbing systems in Sector 7. I am, once again, the hero who contained the damage. No one questions it. They're too relieved to be themselves again. The usurper is gone. For now. But I didn't kill it. I just reminded it that this universe is a messy, illogical, broken place. I reminded it that humanity is a flaw it cannot patch. I am the empty warden. I have no monster of my own left to fight. So I will fight theirs. I will be the flaw in their system. The noise in their signal. The unpredictable variable. Let them come. Let them offer me silence. Let them offer me peace. Let them offer me perfection. I will answer them with the same thing I always have. With a messy, difficult, beautiful, and utterly human no. They never found a replacement for Supervisor Riggs. The higher-ups decided the facility was too unstable for a new command. So they left me in charge. The empty warden. The man who is his own prison. I decommissioned the cells. One by one. We found a way to gently ease the scrambled minds of the first inmates back into a peaceful quiet. Aunt Carol passed away last year, in her sleep, finally at rest. A mimic, the silence, the usurper, they're still out there. In the static between worlds. But they don't knock anymore. They know I'm here. My final report is a single sentence, filed and forgotten in a database no one will ever read. It simply says, the crime was containment. The sentence is over. I turned off the last of the lights in the ranch house today. I walked up to the surface, locked the door, and didn't look back. The desert sun is warm on my face. For the first time since I was 7 years old, my head is completely, truly silent. Not the dead silence of the void, but the quiet of a story that has, at last, reached its final period. I am Benjamin Carter. I was the crime, the warden, and the key. And now, I am just a man, standing in the sun, listening to the beautiful, ordinary noise of the wind. My story ended, but the world is full of unseen crimes. Subscribe to bear witness.